Hello, my name is Jim Krause. I'm the owner of Long Shot Golf and the inventor of the Long Shot Golf Impact label. Some 37 years ago, by some measure of happenstance, I came across the idea that it would be very important for people to be able to understand the impact position of the ball on their golf club. And since that time, we have been involved in sales of this product for the last 37 years to almost every major club fitter, teacher, trainer, somewhat worldwide. And it's used throughout the industry. It occurred to me some short time back that I never really did take the time to explain what it is this would do for the standard amateur golfer like myself, and what this information means to you, what it could be used for, and what value it really has. So, this series of videos, the Own Your Swing series, is a five-part listing. It's not really, they're not training videos. This isn't even a training aid. The Long Shot Impact label is mainly, you can liken it to golf's North Star. It's your one place that when you get too far out of whack, equipment-wise, physically, in your game itself, and from trying different things, that you can get back on a path to a better game. Because frankly, there is no possibility that good golf can exist without good contact. It's as simple as that. It's one of the most primary parts of the game. This series is also available on the website for free download, but not duplication, obviously. And the subject of the whole thing is that the functions of the label allow it to give you instantaneous, unyielding, perfect feedback. It's inexpensive. There's no expensive electronics. There's no add-ons. There's no batteries, setup, anything that could pollute that information, dirt on the club, et cetera, et cetera. So what you're doing is you can use this anywhere. You can put it together, and you can easily see what you're doing. Now, the one thing that we like to do, and to give you an idea, if you're looking at this product, you're getting the idea that it's a simple matter of taking a label from a label sheet. We make these in die cut form, so they're basically shaped to fit different clubs. When the labels are fixed to the club, you have the opportunity to hit 6 to 8 shots with much confusion. Sometimes you might want to put a dot on there to mark one or something, but usually you can tell one from another. What that allows you to do is to make adjustments, to test equipment, to test different things and see how that affects your impact position, because the primary focus of this entire series is to let you know that contact is basically the most important thing in the game. It's the primary objective. It's what pros do unendingly, and what we are surprised when we manage to do it every once in a while on our own. It's truly the definition of that shot that brings you back. And you can see it, you can feel it, you can hear it. People you're playing with can hear it. It's really quite a different feeling. And when you look at this club head and you figure that now, with all the new engineering and all the scientific advancements, they've got these club heads designed in a way that they minimize your losses at every point. Yet, at every point other than the center, it's still less than it would be. And if you're struggling to find 5 more yards with the latest tip or buying a $600 driver, you'll find that if you miss the sweet spot by a quarter of an inch, you're going to lose 5 to 7% of your distance. If you miss it by a half inch, it could be as much as 10 to 20% of your distance. That's a whole lot more than 5 yards. By just bringing your contact into position, you can increase your distance and your accuracy, because one thing you can't do is if you hit the club off center, now you're sacrificing accuracy. And that's an important part of the game also. So it's greater distance, it's more accuracy, it's lower scores are the general result. And this is something you can do on your own. And this series focuses on the idea of how you can do that on your own. And that what you're doing is not using this as the primary training aid. You're using it to validate whatever you're doing and accounting for your physical condition, et cetera. So this is where the series is important, and it's broken into different sections, which we'll go over, and there will be a graphic on the screen showing the sections, but that's not really the important thing. It's a 37-year history of making this. It's entirely U.S. made product, made in the state of Michigan, always has been, and it's a situation where we've refined this. We've built a cottage industry or generated one in knockoffs and things like that, but there's a lot more to this product than one would think in terms of making it lightweight, non-invasive, and not affecting your ball contact all that much. Water resistant, able to be removed without leaving residue, and they're just generally an all-around easy tool to use. And as you'll see in these different videos, you should be not only using these to tune yourself into contact and verifying that you're still making contact when you make a change, but you can save them as a record in a journal and use them as your basis for going to a fitting or taking lessons or testing anything. So it's again, the one core truth that can never be avoided. You can't play good golf without good contact, period. It just can't happen. Being a good ball striker isn't really an option. Again, it's the pros do it. We were making a point the other day in a discussion I had with some pros. Scotty Scheffler, good example, #1 golfer in the world. Yet at one point this season, he was 125th in driving distance, and he was like 20 or 30th in putting. But the one thing that everybody agrees that he does is he makes unending perfect contact. And even if he misses, he doesn't miss by much. So he knows how far that ball's going, he knows where that ball's going, and that's what can bail him out. That's what can allow him to be confident in his game in a good fashion. And this is the same thing with an amateur. Once you get to that point, you start understanding what your swing does. You start understanding how different things you can do intuitively can affect it by watching the impact positions move on a label and whatever, and checking it periodically. It's not something you do constantly, but what we're getting at is this is a verification tool. It's your compass to stay on the path. And I'm going to try to, in these installments coming up, to give you an idea of how that can happen. Right now, consider that most successful swings share common elements. And there is no one right swing. There is no one wrong swing. And there are certain swings that, based on your own physical ability, your physical limitations, I have my own, I have to deal with it, you can't do. You're not going to swing as fast as a tour player. You're not going to hit a 200-yard 8-iron in most cases. And as you get older, you're not increasing your swing speed all that easily. So you just need to look at making what you can do the best possible, taking into account the way this series is set up, your physical condition and limitations and abilities, taking into account what equipment you're working with or considering going to, and verifying. Always verify throughout. It's a fast process. You can throw one on a club in the middle of the golf course while you're playing, not in competition, but and get an idea what you're up to. And this is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to get this to be something that people understand is a simple way to stay on track with making sure your swing is your swing and you understand how it works, and that your ability is being maximized as well as your equipment by making decent contact with the ball. It's not going to happen every time, but it can be done, and I've made corrections myself based on using my own labels. Sometimes I get lax on that, but it's very important to be able to understand where that ball is making contact with the club. Your practice sessions should always be based on at least checking contact once in a while and seeing where you're at. And again, seeing what your strongest clubs are and things of that nature. Professional club fitters, they do it on a consistent basis. They know where they're at. So the Own Your Swing will give you the tool to understand that. Hopefully you can understand and acknowledge the fact that no pro can dispute. And we're not disparaging any lesson, any piece of equipment, any marketing claim. But the fact of the matter is, contact is still, it's a contact sport. You have to make good contact in order to make anything else work, and in order to get any value out of any change you make. So we're asking you to take a look at these videos, read them online, whatever suits your purpose, And if you've got any questions, you can address it to our website. That's not a problem. Also, we're not taking care of off-the-site lessons, but we'd be glad to answer general questions. And be sure to visit the Own Your Swing and the www.longshotgolf.com site. I appreciate your patience, and thank you very much.